Hello, gorgeous, lovely starseeds and light workers. It's Alexander Quinn, and what a month it's been. Emotional volatility, intensity, um, incredible density coming up, even though everything seemingly might be quite good in your lifetime. It might feel that everything's very heavy, very emotional. You might, a lot of people have been feeling like they just wanted to check out this month. And it's been very, very intense. And the intensity started when we had the new moon in Scorpio on the 13th. That's when this very volatile energy started coming in. And then we had Mars opposing Uranus. And that's when the you know what started hitting the fan. And a lot of density started coming up. It was like this very, very heavy feeling. And some people felt like they were under attack. And it's been a very intense, emotional, volatile energy. Look at the wars that are going on at this moment in time. Look at, for example, the UK politics, all of the infighting that's going on both sides at this moment in time, the cabinet reshuffles and all the infighting and so on and so forth. So we've had two layers of intensity, and then tomorrow it's going to ramp up even more into what some people call the singularity, when the Sun squares Mars in Scorpio. And we're going to have this very intense, primitive, instinctual, primeval, very ancient density coming up out of you. And some people will feel very heavy and intense. And it's been a period where it has been a very, very much harder to stay in the heart because of the intensity and the volatility, not only the mother wounding, but this ancient energy that's coming up. And the singularity or the intensity is going to kick in tomorrow. And you'll be noticing that a lot of people in politics, even spiritual people, light workers, that the masks really are coming off. And you're going to see it in the workplace, you're going to see it in government, you're going to see people's true feelings coming out, people who are supposedly spiritual losing their rag, heated comments, heated things on social media. I've seen it, attacks getting intense. But really it is necessary. When I've been working with friends, family and clients recently, there's been a lot of a sexual energy realignment. I've seen a lot of orange in people's auric fields recently coming out that I haven't seen for a while. And there's been a reintegration of the sacral that hasn't been done in a long time. When I've also been taking clients through past life regressions, past life healing, there's actually been very, very few galactics that have been coming through. And it's been all ancestral healing and wounding through the root coming up, which is very, very ancient wounding at this moment in time. So there is a lot of intensity at this moment in time. And it's going to climax probably tomorrow and the day after, especially with this Sun square Mars in Scorpio. So hold in there tight, because December is, if you could imagine that November really is wrapping up this year, if you can imagine really the new year is going to start energetically when we start getting into the first week of December, or Decembre, as my Arcturian likes to call it. And I'm going to bring the Arcturians in a minute just to talk a little bit about a few things. So it has been intense. If you are processing this in here, you're going to be seeing your multidimensional guidance coming in. But there's been a lot of mind energy coming in. And for that reason, it'll feel like you're looping. It'll feel like chaos is ensuing, and the singularity is going to be pushing a lot of darkness back onto you as opposed to light, depending on where you sit in that mirror. So we have got a lot of new moons coming up that will be all 5 new moons, all the way from Scorpio to Pisces. And there's going to be so much new change coming up. And it'll be much, much harder for the fixed signs to work through. Next year is going to seem like a new decade. It's going to be very fast paced, and there's going to be incredible change that you probably haven't seen in a very long time in your life, where you're living, where you're working, what you're doing, and how you're working. So for those that you are in a fixed sign, try not to fight the changes that are coming up, especially with all these 5 new moons that are going to be working through those cycles. It's going to be quite intense in terms of change. That's all I can say, but it will be exciting. It won't have the kind of dark, shadow, chaotic intensity that we've had this month. And things are going to calm. The dust is going to settle. So if you feel like you're going to shout, scream, try, if you can, just to hold on a little bit longer until that clarity and those integrations come in December, because you're going to stair step again, and you'll have new abilities that'll come in that you didn't realize you had. It'll be so smooth and effortless. So I'm going to bring in the Arcturians to see what they want to say, and I will see you soon. Have a lovely weekend. It is going to be an intense weekend. God bless, take it easy, and congratulations for getting this far. It is I, Anwat Antisha, Alexander's simultaneous lifetime in Arcturus. We have been watching, maintaining, and observing the skies over your Middle East and Ukraine for these skirmishes were seen long before they ever erupted. We have been monitoring nuclear devices in these regions in your now linear time to make sure that there are not disruptions in the fabric of the space-time continuum. The Iranians have had some surprises regards potential nukes that have been disarmed recently, shall we say. We had some say in these processes. Nuclear war will not be allowed to break out in these areas. Some of you have seen our ships in the sky cloaked as your aeroplanes and done what you may call a double take. We sometimes look like a plane that is standstill in the night sky, and then when you go back to look again, it seemingly begins moving. That is because we and others, including the Cassiopeans, who have been very prevalent in Earth's balancing at this moment in time, have been orchestrational in being in your atmosphere. And we take great pride in which model of aeroplane we decide to replicate our ships upon in your Earth skies. Not all of your so-called aeroplanes are human at this moment in time, especially in those areas where wars are undergoing at this moment in time. You all feel, as you did in 9/11, the surge of human pain and suffering which goes through the grids. And this affects your magnetics. This is also why, in conjunction with your sun, certain events have played out this way to coincide with synchronicity with the sun's eruptions. And your science at the highest levels with what you would call the globalists or the elites know full well that your electromagnetics are changing at a rate faster than any science has alluded to. Why do you think they are so pressed on the agenda of your warming of your earth? We bring light on your month of November, or Novembra. December will be a very different energy. 2020 to 2024 is the end of a cyclical period of needed manifestable change and upgrade. This has changed now, and a completion is concluded. The years from 2027 to 2032, with a small integration change period in between, will be prolific. Dear souls on earth at this moment in time, do not dwell on the density arising. It is only earth density. Once this has been acclimationed, you will then walk through your cosmic density. We laugh and we smile with Alexander as you step from one earthly existence of density dismissal to cosmic, but you are not quite there yet. Look forward to your year 2024. It will be so different for so many of you. So many changes in your lives will be so present. It will feel like a new decade. We understand that November, in terms of soul contract endings, was the second highest month in soul contract endings on your earthly timeline in 2023. Many souls chose exit points within the month of November, and we understand the pain of family leaving, but your family are closer than you can begin to imagine. Many of you still have exit points that you do not need at this moment in time. So make sure you are finding that lust and reasons to stay on earth at this moment in time. We say goodbye to Alex now, as we are aware he has appointments shortly. Thank you for this time. From Alexander's simultaneous lifetime on Arcturus, I am Tiawat Ansha. Ndakarishan the Shagadakatan the Waria Shakatari Shumakatara Shakatan Dora Shuria Kataran the Waya Papa Kadataria. Have a lovely weekend, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.